I'm gonna hit
Oh,
go.
I will.
Hmm?
I me when you want me to begin talking. This way, I don't just interrupt your intro or anything like that.
Oh, intros. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, and we are live. Hello, my people who aren't here yet. I don't really have an intro. I'm not that fancy. But I am here with my best buddy. Would you like to introduce yourself, best buddy, to our audience of exactly 0 people?
Um, well, for those of you who have watched Eisen's streams in the past, I am Garland Renevalt Maxwell, otherwise known as Kingster Gaming, and I am happy to be here with a wonderful individual that I have had the pleasure of working alongside for content.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Like,
Not a problem. I did tell you that I would be available or I'll be in the audience, either or. Let me know if you need me, and I stay true to my word with you.
you do, and it is amazing, and I appreciate you dearly. So, tonight we are going to have a wonderful discussion. One that I have very meticulously planned out, obviously. You know,
Okay.
that's how we got here. As you can see, this is a completely well put together slideshow of what is going on. There is no slideshow. But tonight we will be talking about the polyamory. Hi Link. Oh, yes. Link, this is my friend Garland. We did
Hello, hello.
introductions before, but hi. How are you doing, Link? We are just getting started. We're running a little late because fuck life, but yeah. Are you enjoying listening to me ramble?
Always, I enjoy hearing you ramble. I'm also marveling at how when I look at the screen, there's obviously there's your VTuber that's just lighting up, and then you look to your technically it would be your character's bottom right where I am, just looking up at you holding my little gun,
Yeah.
just being illuminated like I'm getting ready to do a Dark Souls boss fight. Let's go.
Oh hell yeah. I can absolutely give me a second. I can absolutely make this happen.
Oh boy, what am I in for?
Da,
Oh, look at that. Link always enjoys the rambling. A fellow connoisseur of the Rambler.
Link is awesome. Here we go. Here we go. We got angry mode for your Bostols fight.
I'm the perfect height to kneecap you. Watch it.
It's funny because usually my character is the shortest out of everybody, but now I get to be a fucking giant, guys.
Compared to real life, where I know how short you are.
Look. I am a midget. I will admit that with a minuscule amount of pride, okay? No pun intended.
You are fun sized. You are like the miniature version of candy bars. Delicious, tasty, and potent, pending what your filling is.
Wow, okay. I don't know whether to be impressed or offended by that comparison.
I mean, milk chocolate is still milk chocolate. Caramel filled is caramel filled.
Damn.
Either way, I'm calling you a tasty snack.
Fucking wild, though. Fucking wild. Oh my
uh,
god. So I'm just sending out the link to people, besides Link, who is already here. Um,
I was gonna say you made sure to post in the Discord server that you have. You made sure to, if you have your Facebook page promotion set up, you did there.
yeah, let me just
Feel my judgment eyes through the computer screen.
stop judging me, motherfucker. Actually, judge away. That's what we're here for. I could think of no better way to spend my night than to be judged by you.
At least you know it's all in good fun, and I will always double check if I feel I've crossed a line.
I'm gonna get so busted for this later.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
everything said in private is confidential until otherwise pulled into a court of law by a subpoena.
Damn, okay. Um, yeah. Everything, nothing is confidential. Everything is confidently put out in the open, like the asshole that I am. Why not send a link to Link? Because you're already here. I could send you a link, but that would be obsolete. Anyways, we are off track. I
I wouldn't say necessarily off track. We're still getting that groove, the first couple of minutes of where a stream starts so people can hop on in, save them the effort of having to like backtrack through some footage to like, oh, this is what was discussed earlier.
Yeah, but my brain was off track, man. I forgot I was in a live while I was talking to you about how we weren't confidential because we were in a live. Like I had two completely different trains of thought going on.
Oh, I was thinking about stuff we've talked about off live.
It, I mean that's fair.
See, we got more people coming in right now. Welcome everyone who's coming in.
Oh yeah, lots and lots of people are gonna be here. It's gonna be all the people all the time. But yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? Are we having fun?
Always. I was just killing time playing video games till you gave me the call. I'm like, oh, it's time to go.
Oh shit, I'm sorry I interrupted your video games.
No, it's fine. I'll gladly drop what I'm doing so I can help you and be here for you when you need me.
I appreciate it so much.
Hey, loyalty is loyalty. You know this.
I feel kind of bad though, cause I was like, oh no, I got it all under control. I had someone else who was gonna come on here, and we were gonna like girl talk and gossip and shit, and it was gonna be hella fun. And then I called you like 5 minutes beforehand.
To
But
which I dropped what I'm doing and like, I got you, boo. Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah, like a speeding bullet. You were there. That was not how the saying goes, but whatever.
Tomato, potato. We got it.
Potato, tomato, tomato, onion. I don't fucking know.
Let's see.
Anyways, we haven't been on a live together like this in forever. So for anybody who doesn't hasn't like been around long enough, me and Garland, we go way back. We used to be on this podcast called Kink Slayer, and we used to do these talks all the time about like polyamory and Haikama and God, why am I blanking so hard? On the LGBT stuff and like kinky shit and all the other good shit. But
Yep, that is correct. We used to do a lot of guided discussion, panel discussions. Um, it had been actually, so the two vampire balls have occurred since then. So we've known each other now about coming up on a year and a half, if not just a little longer, from when we first met in person. Um,
We met in
uh,
October, so
yeah, yeah. So technically about a year and a half now,
yeah.
because it's been a year since my breakup.
Oh shit.
Because remember when we met, I had just gotten dumped.
Oh yeah. That was wild.
Yeah. So it's been over a year. That is confirmed.
The best way to get over a breakup. Go get drunk in New Orleans.
Exactly.
Wander the streets with a stranger for a couple of hours, spanking some ass, licking some ass. Wait, no.
I don't remember anyone doing a licking.
Yeah. Okay. Hey Tib. Hey Evie. Um. Oh, it's a gays in stream. All right, we gonna be hella gay here. So, Comma and Eve in the chat are actually my partners at the moment. So,
Pleasure to informally meet you through the interwebs. I have heard small amounts about y'all, but good things. Please rest assured on that.
he heard how you
Thank
guys
you.
flustered me for 7 hours straight the day you asked me out.
Oh yeah, I was very proud to hear that one.
But, oh yeah. Oh yeah. My fans, they're cheering for the gay. My fans, the same ones that have made memes of my ass, which apparently is very funny.
All right, I'll ask for clarification. The VTuber ass or your actual ass?
The VTuber ass, but I'm sure if they had their hands on those pictures of my actual ass, they would make memes out of that too. There's no doubt in my mind. My ass is more well known than the rest of me. But yeah. Anyways, today, would you like to give an actual introduction, because I know we were fucking around and I don't my best friend over
it's
here, but like
it's your stream. I'm not gonna take it over like that.
no, I mean like an introduction to you.
Oh, okay. So yes, as we were saying earlier while joking around, uh, myself and Eisen have known each other about close to a year and a half now. Eisen pulled me into what used to be the Kinkslayer streams, where we would discuss the adult industry, BDSM, polyamory, LGBTQ, uh, from interactions to personal relationships to proper etiquette, um, on a weekly, bi weekly basis at one point, then back to weekly. Um, I myself have worked in the adult entertainment industry uh, for about 5 years now, coming up on six, as a professional dom and assistant club manager at a BDSM nightclub here in Los Angeles, California.
He's hot, guys.
Um, I I myself am poly. When Eisen and myself met, as I made the comment earlier, I had been broken up with from two of my partners. So I went from being in a polycule consisting of myself and three others to just myself and my boyfriend at the time. And promptly after that, I started a relationship with my secondary partner after returning from New Orleans. Um, I would have to say I've been poly for 5 years now. And while personally at one point I believed I was poly for longer than that, I actually had to learn the hard way that prior to 5 years ago, I was not poly. I was in fact a swinger. And as I got to learn more about polyamory, it really helped shape and guide me as I proceed with the relationships I'm in today.
Damn. Okay, we're getting deep into the past talking about how shit started. So, like, I don't know if I've ever actually done an introduction like this before. Like, I know that we joke that I am gay all of the fucking time, but I am actually an asexual and biromantic for anyone who didn't know. And I am also polyamorous. I have known for about mm, I want to see like 12 years now, something like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. What you doing there, buddy?
What?
I just got a notification for
Of
something.
what? I didn't do anything.
I don't know for what. I know Eve is doing something. I just can't see what Eve is doing.
Oh.
It said 1 out of 10, so I would really like to know what just happened. But thank you for whatever just happened. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. No, you're fine. I see that you subscribed with your Prime, which is so cute. I love you for that. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I've been into the polyamory thing for like 12 years now. It started out, was it? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to do some math right now.
Cue the Jeopardy theme music.
Okay, so it started out when I was with one of my first boyfriends back in high school, right? And we met this girl and she was really cute and we went out on like I suppose what it was like kind of like was she was my friend and she was kind of third wheeling on uh date to the amusement park or the fair or something. And I don't exactly remember what happened, but I remember going on the Ferris wheel with my boyfriend at the time, and we were kissing, and then he got off, and she said, "Hey, I'd like to go on too," so I went on with her, and we ended up making out. And then somehow the three of us ended up having a really fun time together after that, and just kind of
Hmm.
continued the relationship with that. I don't know if we ever actually asked her out, but she was a part of the relationship after that for sure. Oh, Link, you're also poly? Nice, nice. How did you find out if you don't mind my asking? But yeah, from there I've had a couple of girlfriends, a whole shit ton of boyfriends, a couple of them friends, I think one agender individual, and a handful of gay guys. So, that's my dating history so far. um, but yeah, polyamory. Let's start talking about what's up with that.
Okay. So, as far as what's up with that, what do you want to start with first? The definition,
So,
when
yeah,
when did it become a popular aspect, or history of it.
So let's start with the definition of polyamory versus monogamy, and then um one of the questions that I got asked that actually prompted me to do this show in the first place, because I was very hesitant to do this show, if I'm being honest. Getting
Hmm.
back into this stuff was not necessarily on my agenda for 2025. But one of the questions I always got asked is like, hey, can you explain how polyamory. How do I word this? You know how that people are basically usually like polyamory is cheating with extra steps?
Yes.
Okay, so the question was, how do you go from monogamy to polyamory without hitting that margin of cheating when you're trying to figure out where you belong on that spectrum? So, def-
That one is it's a somewhat difficult question to answer, but it is possible to answer it.
yeah. So I thought starting out with the definitions would be a pretty good place to start answering.
Okay. Well, when we look at polyamory is a consensual relationship style where people have more than one romantic or sexual partner at a time. The word polyamory comes from the Greek words poly meaning many, gummy meaning marriage, and amory meaning love. That is the textbook definition of polyamory.
As
And let's see. Just so we can go ahead and knock it out the way, however, uh, the term itself, polyamory, was coined in the early 1990s. But looking at the history of it, polyamory has been around since prior to the 19th century. So it's been around for a long time, just under different names, or you might have seen it and never realized that, oh, that is a form of it. Because there are multiple forms of polyamory. Um, as far as when polyamory became popular, it started to grow more during the 1960s and 70s, where it was more mainstream, or close to mainstream, I should say, during the 1990s itself.
Yeah, before then, for the most part, I think it was more of a hidden or personal type thing. A lot of the examples that I could think of had to do with royalty and, kind of like the concubines and stuff like that is the oldest examples I can think of.
Yeah. Um, some examples of history of polyamory. Let's see. Some U.S. communes practiced group marriages or relationships in the early 19th century. Ancient Egypt, pharaohs often had multiple wives for political and dynastic reasons. 1970s, the concept of an open relationship was recognized. Let's see. That's here we go. 2006, the Oxford English Dictionary added the words polyamory, polyamorous, and polyamorist. Um, but it has its roots in many aspects of the old world prior to 19th century.
It's kind
Mostly, as you said, mostly associated with, oh, that was a noble type thing, or for the noble class, or the
aristocratic.
there we go. Yeah, I almost said the pronunciation wrong for a different format. Um, but that does also give leeway to the fact that it has its stigmas
Yeah.
based off of the history that you can read about and see.
Oh, yeah. It definitely has a way of framing things. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah, it's usually the image that comes up is the man with six wives and, um, the women who do the housework and have the children, those old fashioned images that come with that. But I think it's really strange actually how far back it goes and how far we've come since then. And it's still like it's changed a lot, but it's still not a widely accepted practice despite the number of people and history behind it.
Well, it depends upon where you're at within certain countries. Like outside the country, you'd be surprised. Polyamory is quite more mainstream and more out there than it is here in the United States. So when you're comparing that information there, it is it is very different. Whereas here within the United States, it comes down to location, location, location. Here on the West Coast, I've met more people that are openly polyamorous than I have ever met on the East Coast.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that one. It is pretty hard to find people here. And like I live in Jersey, which is a pretty like progressive place to be. We have a lot of like clubs and stuff for that, but even then it's hard to just randomly meet other polyamorous people out in the wild. I feel like I'm looking for Pokemon.
I love that. Meeting polyamorous people in the wild.
Yeah, you gotta go hunting for them. You gotta get your binoculars and your camouflage out. You know, you gotta look for the signs. God, looking for the signs is fucking hilarious because kind of thinking about how like misconceived some of them are. Like, oh, if you see somebody with a black ring on their finger, they're supposed to be ace, but people just have black rings anyway.
Hmm.
It's like what's the one example? Like gay guys have an earring in their right ear or stuff like that. Fucking wild.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's strange. It really is. But anyways, back to answering our question that we got. So, now having had the definition of polyamory and knowing what it means, there's two roads that you can think about going from there. The first one is that you have a partner already, which is going to be more difficult than the second road of not having a partner, but I also have a complex question for that too. But let's start with having a partner. How do we go into that exploration and communicating that we would like to explore polyamory when we have a partner that has not even thought about the concept before? Like, what is a soft way to start bringing it up?
Okay. Repeat the question fully, please.
So, if you already have a partner
Hmm.
and you would like to explore polyamory, but it's not a topic that has been brought up before, what is a soft start to that conversation?
To say what would be a soft start, um, it's in this scenario we're looking at the two individuals in the relationship as closed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Um, First and foremost, it would be approaching the subject with a gentle touch rather than being forceful, because there's an entire chance that the partner you're with might not even know what polyamory is, so you have to do a lot of explaining. Um, Pretty much, it would be approaching it to ease into the concept of, hey, would this be something that you would be interested in? It is something that I am interested in. Therefore, I would like to see what it changed. To see what could come of it. Um, it is very very difficult because in polyamory, in any relationship, communication is always going to be a massive key factor, and that's going to help push things forward or reveal certain things that you end up getting pushback from it.
Yeah. What do you think about people trying to like hint at it going into it? Like, hey, maybe let's like watch a movie or read a book or something together about this topic, and then you kind of ease them into it that way.
It depends upon how the delivery comes with that. um for example, I myself, I'm not a big fan of reading. People know that I don't ever actually read books. Like if I'm reading a book, it's
Uh,
I'm either doing research or something has genuinely caught my attention and I'm trying to learn something, but I haven't voiced what it is. But suggesting to a partner to learn about something by, hey, let's read this together, is not really a bad idea. Um, but at the same time, I will definitely parrot the phrase "know your audience." It might be easier to show someone how something a concept rather than have them reach a, and this sounds bad to say reach a conclusion on their own, uh, but you can help them reach a conclusion on their own after they've visually seen it first. This way, it is a more relatable conversation, being able to give it that 1-to-1 ratio as far as comparing or answering questions rather than just leaving it at formulating your own opinions, but then you, the other side of the conversation in that relationship, don't have the answers to give.
that is fair. That is a valid point. Um, God, I don't even know, like, that's one of the things that's kind of weird to me because I don't think I've ever had to like have that conversation before. Because I always kind of went into it being like, okay, this is who I am. This is basically what I do, what I'm into. I have boundaries. Usually I say that getting into a relationship, and 95% of the time, people run off in the other direction. And I'm like, cool, I don't have to deal with that. But I don't think I've ever had to actually like ease someone into that talk before, you know?
Which, understandable. In your case, you know what polyamory is, and so you lean more towards the same direction that I do, looking for someone who is already familiar with the concept, someone who has a bit of knowledge on it. That is more of a comfortable thing on our end.
I
Now, that doesn't mean you can't find a partner, a potential partner that doesn't understand the concept.
I have two. I currently have two partners that have like never considered it before as people, which I find pretty interesting. As Evie just said, I could use Evie as an example. But
Which there are pros and cons to going both routes. There's pros and cons to choosing someone who's already familiar with the concept, whereas you can choose someone who is not familiar with the concept. It's the same thing, but it's the same pros and cons, just in different format. An example being, I have a friend currently who I had to. He asked me to do a vet check, so to speak, as far as vetting a person, being his current play partner and partner. And he has never been poly himself. she has. And currently, he is feeling pangs of jealousy, not sure how to adapt or how to act when certain things happen. So that seems to be in the realm of a common occurrence with people who aren't familiar with polyamory, um, especially when it's their first time experience. Because as creatures, as human beings, I should say, creatures is a bit derogative there. As human beings, we have that innate desire to be the center of attention for our respective partner. But when it comes to the concept of sharing that center of attention, we don't do so well in the beginning.
No, we usually don't.
This is most commonly seen as, well, a little bit of withdrawing from the relationship as far as expressing one's feelings. Um, and that comes in many formats, such as not speaking up when something is bothering you, uh, not even bothering to give an answer because you believe it won't make a difference, getting upset or irate over to you, they're big things, but on the surface, they're actually seen as small things. Things that could have been avoided by clear, concise communication, the three C's.
All right, so you mentioned vetting. Let's go into that a little bit. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, vetting is when you are looking into bringing a new partner in, and you kind of have to sit down and have that conversation of, okay, this is what we're looking for, this is what they're looking for, here's where we think that we would be a good match, here's the things that we might not be a good match, and kind of working through everything before you begin that relationship. Like, you don't need to know everything about the person because that's nearly impossible, but knowing major boundaries and going through and kind of figuring out what type of person they are, talk to their friends, see how you click, things like that can be very important because you don't want to bring someone into your relationship and then just not be the right match or be an unsavory person. Like, the more research you do, the more you see how things are going to work out, the more communication, the better things are going to go. And hopefully, some of that jealousy can be curbed because while jealousy is a natural thing, and in some cases, it's a healthy emotion to show to a certain extent. Having an overwhelming amount of it is never a good thing. What do you
I
think?
can I can definitely agree with that. Um, Vetting as well holds its own pros and cons. Um, in the example I talked about earlier with my friend and his new partner, I was vetting her on only the aspect of uh well, BDSM. I was only vetting her on that aspect because on the personal relationship side, I have no say in that. I'm not connected to that in any format aside from friendship. So there's no personal investment, there's no personal direct connection there. So I had no right to vet as far as what he was looking for and what she's looking for in regards to a relationship. In regards to being play partners, hell yeah, I have personal investment there. I do have a leg to stand on as far as looking out for both of them. Um, when it comes to vetting for a polyamorous relationship, it's very tricky because, example being you and Eve, one of you takes fancy to someone outside of you two. So therefore, you want to vet that individual and see how they'll respond, how they'll coexist, how they'll act with either one of you. in particular, the one of you that's going to be pursuing the relationship. So for we'll say Eve is you are vetting on Eve's behalf for this individual, but you're present with Eve at the same time. This puts you into a position, Eisen, where you can see the reaction to questions, how the thought process works in real time, things that can either dissuade you or make you feel at ease. The the con here with vetting in this situation is that you have to articulate correctly, and I use those words deliberately right there, if there is a problem that Eve isn't seeing. And you have to articulate correctly if there is something about the individual that you do not agree with, and have to explain that to Eve without seeming like you were trying to control Eve. Meaning, the concept of controlling an individual goes out the window. You have to find a way to communicate these issues on the surface as well as in depth so that if there is a problem, Eve can make an informed decision. Now, whether that decision is in your favor or against your favor, that's up to Eve, pending how Eve does that. But outside of that, actions have consequences, as we have seen in the past.
Oh, yeah. Lots and lots of consequences. What do you think of the veto privilege when it comes to things like this?
The veto privilege is a common practice, but it is a common incorrect used practice, meaning a lot of people have a vague understanding of it and they abuse it, thinking they are following through with it in full. The veto practice is a partner has the right to say no. So we'll use the same example, Eisen and Eve. Eve is pursuing a relationship outside of you. You have the veto privilege. Yes, Eisen, you can veto on any ground that you so choose. The caveat with the veto is that you have to communicate the why. This you can't treat it like a at will employment, meaning that company can fire you for any fucking reason. It can't be like that. You have to give a clear, concise reason. On top of that reason being valid.
But
The
I do agree with you there. It definitely has to be given a reason because if you just say no, 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 that is very controlling.
oh yeah.
I
And
personally dislike the veto privilege. I do not believe in the veto privilege.
I at times I am for it, at times I am against it. And I will personally attest to the fact that the times I have felt myself against it is when it was not like the veto was given, but there was no explanation. Simply trying to hide behind, I'm just not comfortable. I don't think this is right. That's not enough for me. We're both adults. I need you to, and this is a need from me. I need you to explain to me what is wrong here. I need to understand this because currently I'm as open as can be with my relationship. My partners are free to do what they want when they want. My only caveat being if something happens, tell me within 24 to 48 hours, please. That's it. That is the only thing that I have. And for me, that works out pretty well. My primary partner is married to my ex. I love him to death. I don't have anything to worry about on that front. He is my emotional rock, and I trust him wholeheartedly. My secondary partner, I feel he is as open as I am. So there are things that we do discuss, and anything that I'm going to get up to, give him a courtesy of like, hey, this might happen, or I'm going to see so and so tonight. There's a chance that this stuff might happen. Do you have any objections? Do you want me to abstain? I do that courtesy check so I know where his headset and mindset is at. And I can't say 9 times out of 10 because it's technically been 10 times out of 10. He's encouraged me to go have fun, be safe.
I love hearing about your relationships.
It's taken a lot to get here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the road is long and hard, but
I mean, I was in the polycule for 4 years before breaking up with two of the partners. The first 3 years, mind you, were a painstaking battle, an uphill battle at that, where I had to learn so much because if I wasn't the odd man out, I had completely wrong concepts. And now, looking at things, when they hear me talking, like as we're doing this stream, my meta now my metamor, my ex, now my metamor came in to get something, and she's listening, and she made the comment, "I'm proud of you," because she's hearing what I'm saying, and she understands that I know now from a factual standpoint what it is that I'm saying, not acting out of ignorance, not speaking out of ignorance with vague concepts.
oh, that's nice. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, a metamor is a partner of your partner.
That is correct.
But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with that. I understand the way you explained it better. Because the thing to me with the veto privilege and everything like that is that it's an automatic shutdown of whatever you wanted to do. And from my perspective as a person, there should, if you're in a polyamorous relationship and you have put out the terms and you're going as far as your terms are, the thing that you need to do is first off reaffirm those terms beforehand because, you know, things change over time. You always want to make sure that you're in the same headspace with your partner when you are going to look for a new partner as well. But if I'm going to, as you said before, make an educated decision, I want to have all the facts before me, and I want to, as an adult, trust that I am going to do what's best for myself. Which, if
Yeah.
we're being honest here, uh, like 87% of the time, I'm not gonna know what's best for myself. I'm not stupid enough to think that I know it all. In the moment, I am. You're damn straight I am in the moment. You think that nobody will fight that shit. I think we all know that at one point or another, we have stood up for the wrong thing, and somebody has said, hey, that's not a good thing to do. And you have said, fuck you. I'm doing it anyway. But, I'm kind of growing out of that phase. I'm kind of sitting here and taking other people's accounts into consideration now. Because, like, I don't know, it comes with growing up, I guess, you know?
I can understand that. It it takes a bit of learning, I will say. Um, and some of the best teachers of that learning experience is going to be the firsthand experience, meaning you're gonna crash and burn. As I said earlier, I have been poly for technically 5 years. Prior to that, I was technically a swinger. Now, mind you, there is a big difference between polyamory and swinging. Yes, you can have multiple partners, just like you can have multiple partners in polyamory. Those two are the same on the surface. When you look at the in depth level, that's where it gets different. What separates polyamory from swinging is the fact that there's emotional investment. Yes, you can care about someone's safety and well being, but that's common courtesy. That's surface level. When you look at the in depth, I care about, example, Eisen's mental and emotional health, their mental and well being, their emotional well being. I care about that. So, in that example there, that would make me a polyamorous partner with Eisen as the example. But as far if my care only goes on the surface, as far as, yeah, is Eisen okay? Okay, they're gonna be fine. That's more in the realm of swinging, and it's a completely different subject altogether.
Can I almost completely off topic question? Have you ever done like the boyfriend girlfriend swap when you were swinging?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Is that the reaction to the message or, or
Yeah,
my statement?
that was a reaction to the message. That's like really. I got distracted.
The timing of that was so beautiful. I'm like, how? Question mark?
But yeah, I completely lost track of my thoughts when the animated message came up. um Damn, I forgot what I was talking about.
But yes, I have, as off topic to answer your question, I have done the boyfriend girlfriend swap.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know because I seen those like YouTube channels where they like wife swap, and I was wondering.
For those in the audience who have watched adult entertainment, it is nothing like the orange version of YouTube portrays. It's nothing like that. You're thinking that's more along the lines of like the private house parties for the weekend and whatnot, where people wake up the next morning and go, "What the fuck have I done?"
Oh, I've had those nights. You know, almost every night of my life. I don't have a good memory. But yeah. Okay. So, what was my next fucking question gonna be? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. 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 So we did scenario 1. Now I have scenario 2 for you, which is a little still complicated. Scenario 2 is I've been dating around. I met two people separately. That are you? What are you doing, buddy?
Keep talking. Don't worry about that.
Uh huh. So scenario.
You get distracted so easily.
Yeah, I do. The pretty animations on my screen are distracting the living shit out of me right now.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh my god, yeah. Ooh, squirrel. Anyways, so scenario 2. Okay. I've been dating around and I've met two people separately that I like. I think I'm polyamorous. I would like to ask both of them out, but I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to do it. Is basically the gist of question 2.
Okay. I can actually give you a first-hand experience answer. Um, and we'll start with what not to do. The what not to do is to not make mention of the other person you're interested in. That is a big no no, especially if they are polyamorous themselves. If they're not polyamorous, it's even worse. Um, the reason for that is because it looks like you're hiding and withholding information. It looks like you were trying to push your own agenda. And for people who aren't friendly with polyamory, as a concept, they're going to look at you as, wow, you're trying to cheat on me out the gate already. That's how that gets looked at. And yeah, it sucks. That's not the case of what's happening here. The way to go about it, however, is so, for example, I'm going to use you and Eve as the example again.
Okay.
But this time I'm going to add in a third individual, myself.
Oh, all right. We're getting.
I meet you two separate of one another. Now, in this scenario, this closed scenario, you two aren't already dating. You two are not partners. I meet you first. I meet Eve second. Now, anything can happen that spirals my mind to think, or not spirals, wrong word, that drives my mind to think of I could see myself dating either one of these individuals. I like them both a lot. I would like to date both of them. So, because in this closed scenario, neither one of you are familiar with polyamory, I won't have you two meet up together to discuss this with me. I will approach each of you individually about it. Now, as to how I choose who I'm going to approach first, that's my decision. I could put it up to something as simple as a coin toss, or I could already be spending time with one of you and the experience is so good that I decide, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and ask. I would inform, so we'll say I'm spending time with Eisen. Yes, the time's good. Yeah, you know what? Hey, Eisen, would you be interested in starting a relationship with me? And I would explain that at the same time, but just so you know, because you don't have to answer immediately, I'm also interested in Eve. I get along with Eve just as much as I get along with you. And I would like to be with both of you. That is a healthy way to go about that. I'm also looking to seek feedback on, in that example, your mindset, Eisen, as to whether you would be amenable to it, what questions you would have. I am exploring the field, so to speak, so that I can understand you. Now, there could be a multitude of responses you give me. You could be repulsed. You could be intrigued. You could have questions, or it could be the scenario where you are familiar with the concept of polyamory and be like, yeah, okay, and leave it at that. So,
I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I just. It's really interesting getting these scenarios from other people because I know back in the day when we were doing these lives, a lot of people kind of already knew what they were getting themselves into. And because I have joined this VTuber community, and an overwhelming amount of them want to be polyamorous. They're flirty motherfuckers. Um, but a lot of them
oh, oh
don't
my
know
god.
how, and they don't actually know what that means. So when I put it out there openly that I ended up getting a shit ton of actual like people coming up to me and asking about it. And so I don't always have all the answers, obviously, because I haven't been through the situation, and I really appreciate having you here to kind of fill in the gaps, per se,
Mm-hmm.
because, like, asking people about this stuff, like, I'm good when it comes to informing people and helping people work out what's going to happen and what's going on. I've never had to actually experience like not knowing I was into it and having to have that conversation with other people.
I'm gonna ask you to repeat all of that. You went robotic and cut out.
Fuck. Well, did you hear me say fuck at least?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, then we're on track. So, I don't remember what I was saying, but it was something along the lines of I've never had to ask anybody out this way, and so it's good to have a second opinion.
Which understandable. One of the stigmas that polyamory has is people think it's just an excuse to sleep with multiple people. Not quite the case. Example I'm going to give: my primary partner and my secondary partner. My primary partner, Danny, uh, we are affectionate, but we are mostly emotional partners. Like I said, he is my rock. He is what keeps me grounded. But we cuddle, we kiss, but that's about it. Looking at my secondary, Beetle, we are more physical mental than we are emotional. We do have an emotional connection, but when you look at the breakdown, it's, I would say, not that 33, 33, 33. It's more of like 45, 45, 10.
Alright.
So it's entirely possible to have a partner that you don't have any intimacy with as far as physical connection goes.
Yeah, I am usually that partner. With me being ace and all, polyamory is pretty much like a heaven sent for me because like a lot of people will refuse relationships when the other person is not interested in the sex. Um, but in my experience having to polyamory, I can have two partners. I love being romantic. I am a hyper romantic person. I would romance my toaster if given the chance. Um,
Eisen, do not stick your dick in the toaster. Stop it. Stop it.
instructions unclear. Um,
It's plugged in still. Stop it.
romantic bath time with toaster. Anyway, um,
Fucking
rose petals and everything. Um, you know, having that extra person there where my partners can be like, okay, you guys go have fun, and I'll be over here to take you out to dinner afterwards. Or
Which
hey, we
under
can have a romantic night, and then, I can go take a nap, and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want while I'm asleep.
so I will ask the clarification question. Are
Hmm.
your two partners dating one another?
Yes.
Okay, then that reality does exist. It does.
Yeah, this is a personal story.
Okay. You would cut out when you said personal story.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but that's like an I'm asexual type story. I was just saying it's a heaven sent for me.
Mm, okay. Which understandable, as I have said before in the past, you would make a great emotional or mental partner or both.
I try my best.
the It is challenging to be poly with someone who is ace. That's not a bad thing. It's the fact that when in a relationship, each individual in that relationship knows exactly what their needs and wants are. And when their needs aren't getting met, it leads to complicated issues. Um, the example being, one partner is ace, one partner is not, they have yet, and the partner that is not ace has yet to find a potential partner to see. The longing for intimacy or physical intimacy in that nature can lead to misguided judgment when seeking a
The
new
fuck?
potential partner. So there, this is why I've made mention of the three C's being clear, concise communication is paramount.
You can't hear that, right?
Can't hear what?
Oh, there was a helicopter flying about 200 feet over my house. It really,
Nope,
really shouldn't be doing that.
didn't hear a thing.
That's concerning, but okay. Hopefully they're fine.
Now, you yourself, using your personal situation, you're in an ideal situation for you, to where your partner and other partner are connected directly, as you guys are not quite a polycule, but you are a polytriad. This way, if for any reason one of them gets riled up, they have the other to go spend time with and take care of any needs.
Absolutely.
Now, you made mention before about the the veto privilege. I made mention that a lot of people don't use the veto privilege correctly.
Hmm.
The majority of time that I see it being used incorrectly when it comes to polyamorous individuals that involve one member being asexual is due to the fact that it is hard to convey to one of the partners that they're making a decision or based out of the desire to satiate that need for physical intimacy. Because yes, you could see someone that you identify as a red flag. Oh, give me one sec. Fighting off a sneeze. I feel it coming, but it's just stuck.
Oh, just stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth and suck. It'll get rid of it.
Nope, got rid of it. The So let's say you see someone that your partner is interested in, and you, Eisen, see all these red flags. You can understand that in this moment, your partner is focused solely on, hey, this is someone that I can meet the needs of my physical intimacy with. Normally, that partner would see these red flags and go, I'm not touching any of that. You know this from based on how long you've been with the partner. But you see clear as day that they're disregarding these red flags. So you have to articulate then and there why you're doing that veto.
Oof.
But the problem is part of that situation is a little bit to blame by you. Because you, while being asexual, perfectly fine, you can't meet the need that your partner has for that physical level of intimacy.
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't enter relationships nearly as much as I would have liked to, because no matter how nice people are, and no matter how well they connect, and no matter how great their personality is, apparently for most people, sex is a requirement.
Which, understandable, given our lifestyle. A lot of people have that need. A lot of people have that desire. Some, it's in the case of, I want to procreate, to where I go, goodbye.
So,
I am not here for that shit.
so I have to say, personally, from my personal experience, one of the worst things that comes out of being ace and poly is the fact that everybody is okay with being ace and poly until you don't put out and they cheat on you behind your back because they want some. The one
Wait,
requirement that I have is that you tell me that you're going to go out with somebody else. I personally do not give a damn who you go out with and where you go, as long as I know, hey, I'm not going to be home tonight. Hey, I found somebody else, and, I would like to go spend a night over there. Not, hey, I'm at work and you end up fucking someone else and then coming back and just not tell. Like, what is the point of that? What is the point of, hey, you have permission to go do this, just tell me first, and still cheating?
it comes to all right. So that one I can't explain. It comes down to the mindset of that partner. That being, are they taking pleasure itself from the secrecy, from the secret nature of it?
Oh, they actually
Um,
absolutely were. I found out after the fact that was one of their things that they were into. But
which it helps to know that because then you can help work with that, which speaks to the level of your character. Mind you, they still did a dumb. You need to chastise them for doing the
oh, there
dumb.
there was no working it out after what happened. Like that was a crazy story. I said I was going to spill the tea on here, so I will spill a bit of the tea. So after um cheating on me with a chick that was a shit ton younger than us, which shouldn't have happened in the first place because he was older than me. Um he ended up not telling me about it. I paid for a birthday vacation for us to go on. He ended up saying that he had something to do with his family, took the tickets, and took the girl with about $600 that I had saved up for the trip, and then dumped me the next day. There's your tea. There is how polyamory can go wrong, and that is just not polyamory at that point, that is cheating.
Yep.
But yeah, there's your crazy Eisen breakup story for the day. Being that you guys love my crazy ass stories every once in a while.
Let's see.
But like, I get it if cheating is your kink, but you kind of kink is consensual. You can't just that you know what I mean. Ugh.
No, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Consent plays a big factor into polyamory. Now, mind you, as I said, it has to be clear, concise communication. It has to be a sit down discussion with explained reasoning. On top of explained reasoning, it has to be valid reasoning, meaning that, okay, so the answer, Eve, real quick, a polycule in a polytriad. Polycule represents four, meaning, so draw a square. Now, at any given time, 3 points are connected, being the corners. That is a. mm, Hang on, I might have just started combining the two fucking definitions together. I'm redoing this in my head.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, you
so a
did.
polycule. So a polycule is a square. We'll say it's a square. However, all 4 points are connected. Now that doesn't mean A is connected only to B and C. A is connected to B, C, and D, whereas D is connected to B, C, A. C is connected to B, A, C, or B, A, D, and C is connected to A, B, D. So all members of that polycule are dating one another. A polytriad, Eve, is involving 3 people. All points are connected. So A is with B and C, B is with C and A, C is with A and B. So that is the only difference. It is the number of people that are involved. Now, the terminology gets different when you go above and beyond that, but when you're referring to these terms, it is signifying that everyone involved is directly involved, meaning there is no metamorph situation. Everyone involved is dating everyone else involved. That is the only difference is the number of people involved. Does that help explain that?
And so a polycule can also have more than just four people. A polycule is anything, any sort of poly relationship. A triad is just specifically the three.
Yeah, basically it follows the terminology as far as the number of people involved determines the name. So like I believe I had found it before. Let me see if I can find it again.
Like a triad and a quad, and I don't know what the fifth one is.
What is a polycule? Let's see. Polycule is a group of people involved in a network of interconnected romantic, sexual, and sometimes platonic relationships. Essentially, a cluster of polyamorous partners where multiple individuals within the group may be romantically linked to one another, similar to how atoms connect in a molecule. Let's look at polytriad. A polytriad is a polyamorous relationship between three people who are all romantically and or sexually involved with each other. It is also known as a throuple.
A throuple. God, that reminds me of the worst reality dating thing. I don't know if you were like there that one munch we sat there and we watched the absolute worst polyamorous reality TV show dating game.
I briefly remember, but not entirely.
That was something. We have like six couples and six individuals, and we put them on an island. And we see which one of them can find their unicorn.
Okay, no, we don't talk about unicorn hunting here. I do not tolerate unicorn hunting. Unicorn hunting has such a fucking stigma behind it that it pisses me off. On the sole aspect that you think you're talking out of like ignorance, you're not. You're not talking out of ignorance. You're talking out of fucking stupidity.
I set him off.
So so many people that unicorn hunt end up emotionally traumatizing and hurting the individuals they're looking for. And it is fucking sad.
It's called hunting because it's a predatory practice.
Yeah, well, I take pleasure in hunting the fucking predators. Catch this fucking buckshot, motherfucker.
Damn.
I'm gonna mount you on my wall like a fucking 10-point buck.
He's riled up, guys. What have I done wrong?
You know what, Isaac? Get in the bathtub. I'll get you the toaster and the pedals.
Oh my god!
Hey,
Oh,
you
I can
made
finally
the
have my
comment first.
romantic toaster date. I can even bring my toaster bath bomb. It's perfect for the occasion. Yes, that is a real thing. Yes, I can see it from here. I keep it in my room for special occasions.
But yeah, Eve, if there is some questions that you have, speak up about the questions always. It does you more harm than good to questions to yourself. There are various Facebook groups dedicated to helping and oh, It the video is buffering. We'll give it a second.
Boo.
I don't know if we're still connected or not.
Reconnecting.
Yep, there we go. We're oh do 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 do.
Is my internet being shitty again?
You're not robotic. Let me see.
It doesn't say my internet's being shitty. It's Twitch that's being shitty, apparently. Either that or I just got banned.
Testing to see if anyone can hear the audio. If you can hear the audio, please type in chat. And did you just end the oh, there we go. We're back. We're back.
Yay! We survived!
We're back, but the timer restarted. So I believe it's doing a new video at the moment.
Wait,
Yep.
hold up a minute. Hold up a minute. What do you
Yeah,
mean I reached 270 followers in the time we were out?
Okay, so the stream should be back now. Yep, okay, we're back. We're back. Oh, comma. I'm gonna be honest with you, Eisen. For a long time, I didn't think I'd end up in a relationship to begin with, let alone with two massive fucking weirdos. That's how you know you're in a good relationship.
Yeah, I know. This fucker makes fun of me on and off. We fight like cats and dogs.
But yeah, as I was saying, Eve, as you have questions, ask them. There are various community groups on Facebook, on Reddit, where you can ask questions if you don't feel comfortable talking to your partners about it. And when I say you don't feel comfortable, I acknowledge that it is hard to speak up about an issue that you are facing personally, let alone present yourself to look vulnerable in front of your partners. I will always implore individuals to, hey, look up your local or international level or whatever on Reddit, because there you're just a screen name asking a question. Nobody knows you directly. And unless you're dealing with someone who's really fucking, savant with fucking technology, they're not going to never know who you are. So it gives you that platform to ask questions in an anonymous format.
I had
Uh,
anonymous questions turned on for this, but nobody sent me any anonymous questions. Just private questions.
is the stream dead again?
Okay. Apparently so.
Well, it shows that the timer is still going, but on my end it is buffering the video. So maybe it's an issue with Twitch at the moment. I'm gonna refresh the page.
It says reconnecting on my end too. Luckily, the recording is still going on, so I can still see all of us on the recording. It says
Okay.
live now, so it should be good. Or not.
I think you're using OBS, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at the bottom right of OBS. Actually, no, not bottom right. It's gonna be your very, very bottom. There should be like a large rectangular window, or skinny, not large, skinny. Do you see any text in there saying to frame drop or anything along that lines?
I do not know any of that shit.
Okay. What I want you to do, pull up OBS, and I want you to hit the command Windows Shift S together. I want you to then draw the image that you're going to crop of the entire OBS window and send that to me in Discord. Let me take a look at that real quick. I might be able to figure out what the issue is plaguing you at the moment.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not on OBS right now. I'm on fucking Streamlabs, but
Oh, if you're on Streamlabs, then I can't help you there. I don't touch Streamlabs for the reason that I don't trust it.
yeah, I need somebody to help me fix these things. Also, yeah, those two are like inseparable, honestly.
Uh,
Like
it's an open book for
I
me.
don't think there's a moment in my day where I couldn't call Kama or Eve and get both of them on the phone at the same time.
Hmm.
Well, OBS won't work for me. I can't get it to work.
I trust OBS. It does what I need it to do in its bare minimum format.
I am surrounded by tech nerds and none of them will help me set this shit up. I have the bare minimum here.
That's why you get the almighty tool known as the crowbar. It fucking gets results.
Comma, your OBS looks like it should be run on a supercomputer.
Call me you fuck.
Oh my god. Watch, now I'm gonna get yelled at for the rest of the night. Anyways.
Yelled at? Probably not. Lectured? Definitely so.
Yeah, Anyways, stream's back on apparently because now he can hear me complaining about how I don't know how to use this.
Lovingly insulted. Um, but yes, there are multiple formats to ask questions.
I don't
And
write through the screen. I might in person, but I can't through the screen. So you can ask me all the questions you want as long as you're all the way over there.
yeah, I'll just make it worse for the next time we finally cross paths in person. Gonna be like just sipping a drink, but like, hey, about that toaster.
You want me to bring the toaster with me? I now have like 3 toasters, guys.
I don't want you to bring it with you. I'll probably encourage you to sell it with the comment that I took a bath of this toaster and lived. Let a fan buy it.
Oh my god, they would. You know, the Toaster movie was my favorite movie as a kid.
Look, Brave Little Toaster was bomb, okay?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It was my favorite movie as a kid. I didn't realize how horrifying it was till I watched it as an adult, but it's still my favorite. It's the thing that had me yelling at appliances as a kid. I shouldn't be admitting to this, but I literally have no shame.
That's so adorable.
When my family brought a new toilet into the house, I spent an hour yelling at it that it was now part of the family. Like, you guys don't understand the insanity that I went through as a kid. I felt really bad that time my brother murdered the refrigerator. Imagine.
Refrigerator's a tank, it could take it.
No. Imagine. For a second. My little brother, who was like 4 years old at the time, slipped on a rag in the kitchen, got his ass stuck in one of those big ass soup pots, grabs the refrigerator door handle, and proceeds to remove the refrigerator door from the hinges, trying to get his ass out of this giant soup stock pot. We needed a new refrigerator after that. But it was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
The all right, yeah, getting back towards the topic.
Sorry, I got off track.
Oh no, I enjoy when we get off track. It's always fun. It's always fun. Um, what other aspects of polyamory do we want to discuss?
We're coming up on our time real fast, so if you wanted to cut it here and we could pick up a
It,
different day.
it's your stream. You decide what we do.
I mean, I'm having fun. Um, but I'm also like really not on topic and I have no clue what I'm supposed to be talking about. So we got
D-
through scenario 1, we got through scenario 2, we did some terminology. Um so I guess one of the reasons why I was doing this stream was like because it's February and it's the month of love and it's Valentine's Day and all that stuff. So like thinking about
only
that.
12 days after Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Give me a break. Give me a break.
All right, Kit Kat. You get none. You get no breaks.
Oh my god. anyways, anyways.
Well, then I will ask. Ooh,
Oh my
there's a question.
god.
Did you tell them what I did to you on Valentine's? I will enjoy hearing this story, but I got a question first.
What?
Do you want to make this a regular thing, like the old days?
You see, if you had asked me that before this stream started, I would have said hard no, hard pass. But I'm having a lot of fun.
Which is because I know you're having a lot of fun, which is the reason why I asked.
I mean, what do you guys think? I think we should do it again. At least one more time. I now have you and 2 other people who want me to keep doing this, like to come on here and talk.
I mean, it could be talking, it can be us playing games, it
Well,
can
yeah,
be
of
us
course
just
we're gonna
shooting
play
the shit.
games.
It don't matter to me.
I could absolutely play games with you.
See, this is why I suggested doing a podcast kind of thing before, Eisen. Okay, to be fair, Eve, we being me and Eisen have had our issues with podcast in the past. Um,
They know that I am vehemently against podcasts, or at least I was up until like 2 hours ago.
in our defense, and I actually agree with Eisen on reason why we shouldn't do it again, is because the amount of work and effort that we put in to try to make it successful, we weren't being reciprocated on that end. There were things that we would ask for as far as like, hey, common courtesy, common decency, common respect, because this is all of our names on this, were not met. And it caused issue. It actually got to a point that it caused an issue at my real life work. It caused issues with Eisen's fans. And when we brought these things up, we were just dismissed.
It also got into like social rights issues and other things. Hi Soraya. She was originally supposed to be on here tonight, but she's feeling a little under the weather. So I'm glad you made it though. But
The
yeah, basically shit went down, things got messy. At least I swore off doing podcasts and stuff like this. I really didn't expect to be doing it again. I didn't want to touch the subject. I literally told you, Garland, that I would not be doing this again.
I'm very much aware of what you said, but I definitely promised you that I would throw my support behind you when you asked for it.
I wouldn't mind do never say never. Yeah, okay. Um I wouldn't mind doing more of these. I'm not sure about making it a regular thing, but I'm having fun and I'm enjoying not being restricted to whatever the fuck was going on before.
Yeah, no, I'm here for this. I've got plenty of free time, so I can definitely dedicate time to this when you need it, when you want to. Um, what question do you have there, Eve? I just saw that.
Also, while Eve's getting her question, I suppose I can tell you what Kama did for Valentine's Day. Um, just a short story.
All right.
So, I had just finished up a live that I was doing where I was on with a friend and we were doing a competition to see who could beat what was the equivalent of My Little Pony but a zombie AU first. And I had just come off of that and I was like, I don't know if I want to do another live, guys, tonight. Let's watch a movie. So this motherfucker decides he has the most romantic movie on the planet picked out. I don't know if you've ever heard of this movie, but it's The
Backdoor
Voices.
/9.
The Ryan Reynolds movie where he's a psychotic, sociopathic serial killer, but it's by complete accident and he hallucinates that his animals are talking to him. He accidentally kills off all of his friends. This motherfucker thought that this was the most romantic thing in the world and just so happened to play it 2 hours before Valentine's Day ended. So the minute the movie ended was the end to my Valentine's Day. I have to agree. It was a really good fucking movie.
I'll have to look up this movie to see, like, to read up on it and see what it's about.
Oh, absolutely.
Ryan Reynolds being schizophrenic serial killer.
Yeah, yeah. So what was it you told me about the music video? At the end of this movie there is a music video. And they shot the very happy, very friendly music video before they told anybody what this movie was going to be about. It was a very sporadic thing. They had people come in, they said, "Hey, we're doing a music video," and they shot the music video. After that is when they found out, okay, you're the serial killer, you're the victim, 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 victim. This is how you're gonna die in a horrific, grotesque way. And everybody was stunned. This was not what they signed up for, but it was damn well what they did. I think Anna Kendricks was in it. But it was fucking wild.
Well, it still sounds like it was a good time.
Oh, it's a great time.
Okay, let's see. So I was curious about poly couples and one or more of the partners having a kid already. Not sure how else to work. Okay, I can see. I think I see where you're going. Um, when it comes to polyamory and the involvement of children, it is a difficult. The beginning is a difficult terrain to navigate. Um, because children are easily impressed upon. they soak up knowledge like a sponge. What they see is what they will talk about, regardless of whether they have understanding or not. The examples I have are none of my partners, but my friends who are in polyamorous situations and have kids involved. And that ranges from, we'll say, 3 to 7 year olds to teenagers. Um, and this is as far back as I can recall. And my knowledge of this is, let's see, 2025. We'll say within the last 6 years. Um, there have been difficult aspects because in certain situations, the one of the partners wants nothing to do with any of the kids. They're not here to raise a child. They're with somebody for that individual, but there is acceptance that hey, the children are part of that partner's life. So there is going to be minimal involvement in that scenario. I have also seen the aspect where in regards to the teenagers, that teen basically had 3 dads and 2 moms. And we used to joke that that child had no excuse about not being able to talk to any parental figure, period, if there was a problem. And by God, was she spoiled and she knew it. She had basically 3 dads who looked after her, who would kill for her. So the level of involvement varies amongst the individuals in the polyamorous relationship. It is acceptable to not be involved. It is acceptable to be involved. However, it must be declared if there is an expectation of involvement before anything begins. This way you know where the actual parent is at and where the actual parent, which is one of the partners, is at as far as what they would like of their partners to help with. So while it is difficult to navigate in the beginning because you are going to stumble, you are going to trip up, because, like I said, children will speak when they want to. They will want to tell you about their day, and then they'll see you having a moment with one of your partners, see you having a moment with another partner, and the next day at school, because mind you, they lack the common sense, they're telling their teacher, like, hey, I saw my mom kissing another man that wasn't my dad. And now that teacher has no fucking clue, is like, oh my God, your child has witnessed the child has witnessed one of the parents cheating, not knowing that that's the case. Let's see. Eve's son is an interesting variable in a relationship, but he seems to like me enough as a person. And I'm not trying to put myself in a position to be his dad, nor do I think Eisen is wanting to be a parent to the boy either. But I'll treat the boy like my own flesh and blood, so I'll raise him. That comma is a very healthy stance, and that's extremely healthy in my opinion. I have respect for knowing that is your stance. I will ask a personal question in this, Eve, in regards to your son. How does his actual father feel about this? Because this is where things can meet a little bit of strain, or things can, I would phrase it as, feel a little cloudy in regards to how things proceed. See, it's hard because in my situation, definitely, but I think the child in my situation was more aware. He didn't speak of them to his mom whenever his father was involved. I'm just reading what Soraya said. Not so much confusing. It's not confusing. Let's see. Okay. No, I can understand that. I can understand that. And sperm donor, in my opinion, is far too kind. I would I would voice it as biological sponsor
Damn.
when it comes to that level of affiliation and connection. Um, I would definitely say I would say in this case, because there has been zero involvement from the biological sponsor and on that side, you shouldn't really have any issues there. But I would say you do need to make sure to reinforce as far as how important communication is, because your son can grow up reflecting on his childhood. Well, mom did this, and these were things that were okay, thinking that, hey, this is a, while it is considered a normal concept nowadays, it's not it would be looked at as like, oh, well, I'm just going to do these things, but not understanding the importance of clear, concise communication and open communication at that, so that your son doesn't run into any issues if your son decides to go that route. And it should also be made clear that there's no pressure for your son to turn out like you, in as far as, hey, I got to be polyamorous too. My mom was.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, having a kid in a relationship that I am in but is not my kid is not a new concept to me. I have had relationships with other people who have had children. I'm surprised I am in another one, but um it's actually really nice. Eve's kid's really nice. We actually have like TV night where we watch TV together sometimes, and we try to keep him as a part of things. Like things will progress as they progress. Like it's weird when your mom's dating two people, I suppose. But he seems to be taking it well. He's fun to hang out with.
That's good. That was an excellent formulated question, Eve.
Yeah. But we are coming up on time. We have like 13 minutes left before we hit the 2-hour mark. This has really been fun, and I would like to do it again sometime. I'd like to play games with you and stuff too. We don't just have to like talk about this. But I know that Soraya wants to come up next time and have a long chat. If you're up for that, or we could just do it together. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But as long as you're up for it, I'm up for it.
My answer is still the same. You will gladly have my support and assistance when you so desire it. But I also, as I said in the message that I sent to you, I'll read it out loud. I've really missed this level of interaction. This has been a lot of fun, and I really wish to do so more.
Hell yeah.
And no obligation to go back to how we were doing things on a weekly, bi weekly schedule. It could be once a month, but small steps at a time, and see how we feel about it.
Yeah, definitely. But all right. So, wrapping things up, is there anything else you think that we should touch on for this session that you can think of before we go?
Closing thoughts, closing thoughts, closing thoughts.
Yeah, the hardest part of the whole thing. Oh, I
I would
remember
have.
what I was trying to get to before, real quick.
Oh,
It was Valentine's Day. Did you do anything special? What do you think that like goes into having a holiday in a polyamorous relationship? Like, would you put your partners together? Would you designate a partner per holiday? Would you have time with each partner on the holidays? What's up?
Okay, okay. Easy answer for me. If all partners are connected, then that is a holiday for everyone. If all partners are not connected, then it is a individual holiday for each. So for example, we'll say I'm in a triad and I have one person I'm dating outside of the triad. I will use order of operations here as far as which relationship began first, the triad or the individual. If the individual went first, hey, Valentine's Day first goes to them, and then I will do a Valentine's Day thing for the triad separately. If everyone is together, we are all doing a Valentine's Day thing together. Um, the and it's still possible to do that even if there is a metamor involved in the situation. Now, this most recent Valentine's Day, I had to work. I was working that day for the vampire ball, so I did not end up going to our usual Valentine's Day where myself, my partner, and the Metamors would sit down over dinner at a restaurant and just enjoy the evening. But that is what we've done before, um, and we still did that after our breakup 2 years ago. The As far as me and my secondary partner, uh, I did a small gesture of Valentine's Day themed event with him because our that's all our schedules could allot for. But when it comes to holidays in general and partners, it's if it feels like it's tedious, please understand it's also tedious for your partner because they have to do their own set of planning outside of yours if they're trying to make something a surprise. And one of our little rules is like, hey, are you planning on doing anything of a surprise? Reason I ask is so that I can make sure I allocate enough time for it. So, for example, for me, I will personally save up money to throw at doing like a holiday dinner at a restaurant or something, um, and make sure that my time is allocated so that I'm spending not just adequate, but a acceptable desired amount of time with them before going to my other partner. Which, if I can't do that in the same day, I will schedule either the immediate day after or soonest available day pending that partner's schedule. Uh, the challenges present themselves more and more towards the end of the year when it comes to Thanksgiving and Christmas because everyone is trying to do everything under the sun involving family and more fucking family. Makes me fortunately glad in my own situation that, hey, my immediate family lives over 3,000 miles away and I don't have to do the Thanksgiving fucking debacle that is family dinner or Christmas dinner. But it is a difficult time of the year to navigate given that it can be overwhelming, if not tedious.
Understandable. Yeah, I love planning holidays. I wish that I had. Well, I guess I do have more people to plan for now, but like it's always something I've wanted to do, but I've never had people at the right time to do it, if you know what I mean.
Understandable. Personally, for me, the holidays is easier to plan What sucks is anniversary planning.
Oh God, anniversary. Let me tell you about. Sorry. Let me tell you about what happened with our anniversary thing. So, my lovely partners live on your side of the world, Garland.
Oh, they're in California?
Nevada and uh, Canada, somewhere up there. Anyways, like your time zone.
Okay.
So, I got asked out 14 minutes after midnight for me, but it's still yesterday for them. So, anniversary planning is a little.
Technical aspect. Your anniversary falls on the day that they asked you. So that means the anniversary would be the time zone of when you were asked.
Yeah, that's what we ended up going with. But it was really funny to try sit here for a couple minutes and try and do the math to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. And that's it. Had you asked, the anniversary would have fell on your time zone.
Yeah, no, it was
Literally,
totally
it
out of.
comes down to the deciding factor being who asked first.
It was totally out of left field for me. I had no fucking idea that was gonna happen. A relationship with two weirdos? Not in my books.
What fucking heretical bullshit are you speaking right now?
Yeah, right?
Um, so when looking back at the polycule that I was in, we all started dating within the same month. So in 1 month alone, there were not one, not two, but 3 anniversaries that we had to account for. Well, let me rephrase that. I had 3 anniversaries that I had to account for. Janet had 3 anniversaries that she had to account for. Danny and Jenna, however, had 3 anniversaries to account for, with the exception being Danny and Jenna were already married. So they have their anniversary, whereas we have, they only had to account for that month being the anniversary of me and Danny, me and Janet, me and Jenna. Janet, Jenna, Janet, Danny, Janet, me.
God, you're juggling anniversaries.
And it was quite the struggle, because in within the first year, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the concept, but FOMO, and I'll put it in chat. FOMO. Um, otherwise known as fear of missing out. FOMO played a big factor into the first year and a half, 2 years of the polycule, because one member experienced FOMO. Because of that, that member wanted to be there for everything, even the parts that did not directly involve that member. And it put quite a bit of stress. So, to revisit polyamory in general, when you are starting a polyamorous relationship or taking on a new partner, please understand that this is a valid concept that is very hard to voice. We did not get to the root of this until 2 years into the relationship. And
Yeah.
because we didn't put enough drive and effort into figuring this out, it did a massive amount of damage and left emotional scars that we couldn't really recover from. It did build up a bit of resentment because, for in my personal instance, I love doing individual things with individual partners. But I was made to feel like the bad guy for putting in effort for my other partners. And because not everybody got the same thing, it made me feel not inadequate, but it made me feel guilty of not being able to take care of everybody in an equal format. To which I understand that concept is impossible,
Yeah.
but it did bring upon that feeling. So
Understandable.
in regards to closing thoughts, clear, concise communication is always going to be key to resolving any issues as well as communicating how you are feeling, whether good or bad. It can help guide a situation into encouraging, hey, yeah, this potential partner is going to be healthy for you, or this, there might be a bit of struggle, but that's okay. Just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. When it comes to the veto privilege, if you're going to discuss making use of that, both of you have to agree on that. You can't just go, I'm gonna instill veto privilege and not discuss it. No,
Oh yeah.
that's you still discuss on that shit. Um the the if you're going to make use of the veto privilege, you need to give a valid reason as to, hey, this is why I'm saying no. And simply saying I'm not comfortable does not fly. You need to articulate and explain why you are not comfortable and why this is probably not a good idea for you to do. And this is why I'm saying no. Um, and
Absolutely.
if anything, establish the boundaries of what is and isn't acceptable. That is also it. Well, yeah, you can go, hey, that's part of clear, concise communication. Knowing those boundaries up front can help you formulate or create a solid ground beneath not just your feet, but your partner's feet as well. To which, as time passes, you can revisit these boundaries and, like, hey, can we rediscuss this? Can we renegotiate this? It's time has changed from when these were created, and some of them don't even apply anymore, which that's perfectly acceptable and reasonable to discuss and change if need be. So I would say that is my closing thoughts there. Um, if you want to see Eisen do more content, fucking blow up Eisen's messages and discords, be like, "Hey, do the thing."
Yeah. Tell me what to do.
I'm biased. I'm biased, but
Wait, no. Don't tell me what to do. Fuck off. But tell me what to do because, I like it
and
when people tell me what they like.
we'll yeah, people you like hearing that, but we'll also see how much that fucking bathtub toaster is gonna go for on eBay.
I mean, I already know like 5 people who would pay for that shit.
Ooh, I have Eisen flavored bread. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, stop. Oh my god. Just get a toaster, but the internal toasting plates are just my character's face. No, ass cheeks. They're just ass cheeks. God, I know so many people who would buy that. It's not even funny. Anyways.
If you go in the direction of bathwater, I'm cutting all ties with you.
Oh my god. I mean, it would be in the toaster, that's for damn sure.
No, that toaster is basically LaCroix at that fucking point. It's fucking hint of Eisen.
Oh my god, stop. I hate where this conversation went.
Brave
Oh.
little toaster has a whole new meaning.
Oh. Instructions not clear, dick stuck in toaster. But,
But it's been a pleasure with you having me here.
oh yeah, definitely. And I'd love to have you back. But yeah, as always, my closing thoughts are going to be, uh, communicate with your partners or potential partners make sure that if you're experimenting, everybody knows what's up because, hiding things never goes well in this aspects. You have to be honest about what you want and what you're looking for. Um, and if you have any questions or comments for me, or you want me to keep doing shit like this or anything else, just hit me up and let me know. If there's topics you want to talk about revolving around like the polyamory, the kinky shit, the LGBT, or any of that other good shit, just hit me up. You don't even have to tell me. You can hit up my anonymous message board or whatever and just say, hey, do a stream on this, and I will take it into deep consideration. I am promising nothing. But, yeah. Anyways, you guys have a good night. I am going to send you guys over to whoever the fuck I can raid because I remembered that I can do that. I'm gonna send you guys to Phoenix because, uh, he deserves better. Goodbye, fuckers. Or whatever. I don't know.
You doing a struggle there?
Maybe. I may very well be doing a struggle. I don't know how to actually send the raid, so it has 60 seconds on the clock that I can bullshit for.
You got it set to a timed feature. You trap yourself for one last minute.
Yeah, I know. I am a dork when it comes to any sort of streaming at all. Thank you for allowing me to realize that I am a dork. Obviously.
Very much so.
Oh my fucking god. All right. Well, you guys have a lovely night and all of the love. Goodbye, motherfuckers.
Goodbye. Eisen, it's still not switching over.
Shh, 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 shh. There we go.